We are going to draft states plus decades. It's brought to you by our friends at Dugout Mugs. We have them on the desk here. They made some custom ones. If you want to go to the side camera, BBD, I'll show them. The Talkin' Baseball one I'm holding right here. And Jake can show them the Jomboy Media one. These mugs are pretty cool. They are the perfect gift for Father's Day or for a brother's birthday, or just if anyone just built a man cave recently, or not a man cave is probably an antiquated term, but the game watching room. Their decor, their cups, their mugs. They got wine glasses, bottle openers. They got a ton of free stuff. We've been friendly with Dugout Mugs, since 2018, I think. And they are currently giving away their knob shot for free. Do we have any of the knob shots out here? Oh, they're right on the desk there. They are giving away their knob shot for free. You just have to pay the shipping and the handling. All the products are sealed to last a lifetime. Like, we drank coffee out of these last week, and we drank grape soda out of mine. Coffee and grape soda, and I washed them, and they're just like regular cups. They feel badass. So go to dugoutmugs.com/Jomboy. Get your free shot glass today. Dugoutmugs.com/Jomboy. Get your free shot glass today. And they are bringing you the draft today, which is now it's a little convoluted because I like doing weird drafts. We're not trying to just do basic best cereals. So I came up with this format. I think we know the parameters of it very well. I'm going to try to explain it in one shot for the audience. You get a country and a decade, and they are attached. So a random example, if you wanted Spain in the 1970s, you would say, I'm taking Spain in the 70s. Now, does that mean you want to live there? You want to be alive in that time? I think that's kind of what it is. You just think it's cool. That's what you get. Now, that means that the 70s is off the board. No one else can use a different country in the 70s. And Spain's off the board, obviously.
Yes.
We are not allowed to choose a country from the same continent. Only one country per continent. So once you take
for each of us individually.
Individually. And we are drafting 4 couples each, 4 teams each, selections each.
4 country with decades.
Yes,
each.
we need to write down numbers. We don't have the pad of paper in front of us. We have a Sharpie though. So that is the draft today. Also, shout out to Zach, who runs the vlog, which is also posted on this YouTube channel. And we always give Zach all of our pregame thoughts, all the research we've done, the things we want to do, the things we don't want to do. So they get posted on Fridays. So if you want the insight into our brain, go there. Random number generator, and if you're first time watching, we're going to select the draft order right now. Everyone will write down a number 1 through 100, and whoever's closest gets to choose their slot in the draft first. What number did you write down, Jake?
51, Bernie Williams.
Playing the odds right in the middle. I like that.
Not the odds, random.
24.
69.
69. All right. And the number is 80. So, BBD, do you want the first pick, the second pick, or the third pick?
I've been struggling with this. I think I will take the 3-4 wraparound.
Okay.
Ooh.
Jake, do you want the first or the second?
I'm going to take the first pick.
Yeah. Okay.
I knew. Yeah.
I will take the second pick. By choice. I'm choosing to take the second pick. I would have taken.
You do choose it.
I would have taken first overall in this one. By board, I looked at it. I think there's an A1.
Yeah.
Clear cut A1. The wraparound's the better place to be. But
I have a pick I know I would take if I was number 1, but
I think
it's
fairly obvious where I'm going. You guys saw for my Arizona pick. There's also, I'm eyeing the supply and demand. I am taking the United States of America, and I am taking it in the 1990s.
That would have been my 1-1.
The 90s?
Yeah, man, the 90s are the best. Everybody loves the 90s.
I didn't have the 90s as the decade for them.
I did.
It
was a big period of economic boom.
Like, the country itself was good. The country was also fun. Like, on
Sports
the U.S.
were in a great spot.
Yeah,
Music was in a great spot.
They hosted the Olympics. Like, USA in the 90s, things were taking off. Still around today.
Yeah. But it was around the 90s.
Okay. Well, I'm interested to see your pick.
Well, my U.S. was going to be my one overall, just
Yeah.
a different decade.
North America, too, I think, if we didn't
Yeah.
explain that well. North America is now off the board for me.
Yeah, yes. So here's where I have an interesting decision because I have a second one. If I didn't get U.S. in number one, I have a North America. It's my second pick in the North America. I usually hate the strategy of the second person choosing from the continent that already got chosen. But I'm going to do it here.
There's a drop off.
I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to take Cuba in the 50s. Before Castro locked the border, when it was Havana, it was you go to Cuba, you get the cigars, you take the boats. Hemingway's writing stories about it. It's very romanticized. Cuba in the 50s. Cuba in any other decade, I wouldn't have wanted at all. So it was clearly like if you took the 50s in the U.S., Cuba was getting scratched for me.
Yeah.
That's the only decade I would have taken it. So I took Cuba in the 50s, kind of just vacation paradise.
Yeah. It's a solid pick. It's a fun pick. It's my Hawaii pick from the States draft. You're having a good time as long as you know the right people, which we're assuming you do.
Yeah,
So
there's big hotels there. It was
Yeah.
very
you
easy.
got to watch out for the Havana mob, though.
Oh, yeah, always.
I'm a little surprised you went there, but
It's
if
an
you're
angle.
gonna pick Cuba, that's. I think you did your research.
I really like your angle on it.
All right, BBD.
Okay. Ooh. Now I can certainly wait on my North America pick. That will be late. My
North America
first
was
pick-
shallow for me.
Yeah, I have. This was like my number 2 for North America. Is the one I'm going to end up getting. I guess years dependent. You're not going to pick the years I'm thinking. I will take with my first round pick. Which decade? Give me.
You're not positive on the decade?
Well, because there's a few ways I can go because they're all kind of the
He's
same.
got
to me.
angles.
Okay.
Let the man talk.
I'll take 2010s Japan.
2010's Japan off
I'm
the
not
board.
married to the decade. You could have gone a few ways, but just in general, modern Japan, it's a good place. The culture's good. Good cuisine. I personally prefer Chinese cuisine, but Japan.
You
get
run
sushi,
immediately
you get
into the
everything, you
2011
get some-
tsunami. So, I mean, that's a little tough. Times were pretty bad at the beginning of that decade for Japan. Whole island.
What a mess.
But they recovered. Just like Japan's good. Good baseball.
Yeah, you get good baseball.
Yeah.
You got it all.
I didn't have.
We had a bunch of 2010s Japanese stars come over, so I got their
I like
their
that.
Koshien years.
You're with that.
There's a lot of different ways you can go in this, so I don't say this. I'm
Yeah.
not knocking you because it is a good pick, but I didn't have that decade or that country on my board.
I had them high on my board as a country, and I didn't know where I was going to land with
Yeah.
years. I knew I had the same talking points.
Someone
if I
in the
got
chat
any
said
of
wasn't
the years.
Fukushima in 2011. I think that is a major play. Like, one of the worst disasters they've had in a while.
Don't listen to him, BBD. He's just trying to chop you down. He's nervous about the Cuba pick. It's a solid
And they recovered.
No, I'm very happy with
It's
the
a
Cuba
solid
pick.
Oh, and I get the
Cuba had
wraparound.
hurricanes in the 50s.
No,
You don't think they had one hurricane in the 50s?
maybe. Someone said Cuba wasn't North America, but I Googled that.
And could have fooled us either way.
Yeah, Cuba, continent, North America.
Ooh, so with my wraparound.
Wraparound pick, BBD. You went with the 3-4 pick.
Because I'm scared to get too far before making my second pick being one I had put any thought into.
Ooh.
I will take.
Hurricane King in the 1950s.
Oh.
That was an easy
Alright.
one.
Killed 600 people.
Just a fun time.
Okay. I think I know where I want to go here. No.
Oh,
Give me staying modern.
Cuba is not North America. Use Google once for me.
I think we're all fine with it being
Yeah.
North America.
Yeah.
If it isn't.
I mean, I'll Google, but
Cuba, continent, North America.
And I'm staying modern, which is going against a lot of what my board was. I was prepared to not take 2 years too close to now. Give me 2000s Australia.
okay.
I had that very pick on my board.
Okay, that's a good pick.
Australia in the 2000s was on my board.
It was going to be a giant
time.
wild card in this draft. Australia, a fun country, and its only kind of thing over there. It was going to be Australia was going in this draft. It was a matter of when and when.
Did what deck? Oh,
I had a wild card play ready to go for that continent because I had to do some Googling of what else is there. I had a wild card play for what. Behind the scenes, we talked about potentially doing you get one from every continent. It was too much, but
There's a historic angle with Australia. If you got all the crazies and you're just letting it rip on the island, there's a new modern play with it. Australia's a great pick.
Australia's sneaky sports country, so you get that as well.
Oh, they got it going on over there.
All right, I am taking Switzerland in the 1940s.
Ooh.
World War II's going on. Switzerland amps up, prepares to be invaded. Whole country mobilized in 3 days. No one came. They just chilled, and they're like, okay, I guess we'll just watch the whole world fight each other and sit here. The Axis and the Allies both used Switzerland, so they knew the hot goss.
Yeah.
Like, they both came to Switzerland with like, hey, can you tell the Allies this? Can you tell the Axis this? They used them as like intermedia. So whole world at war, Switzerland just like not interested. We're just going to ski and have fun. See ya.
I like it. It's a definite play. I think Switzerland, even in recent years, grades out as one of the better countries in the world. I just think
you're going to be happy if you know you're not going to war. Imagine a nation knowing like, you know what, not us.
It's beautiful there, scenic. I like the pick. I had two people on my board I wanted. And you guys are going to have to help me with the whole country situation here because I'm not great on it. I mean, I want England. Is that the UK? Is
United
that England?
Kingdom.
I think you have to draft it as the United Kingdom.
United Kingdom's a country.
I want the United Kingdom.
Yep.
And I want it in the 60s.
British invasion.
Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
They won the World Cup that was hosted in England that year.
I have that very logic for another country.
So, I mean, we're talking the 60s, which are funky anyways. Austin Powers, he's kind of real. The Beatles, and England wins their World Cup in the 60s. I'm pretty happy with that funk. I've got a wraparound, huh?
Yeah.
I might have to bring up a map.
For you.
I might have to bring up.
I don't mean to put the pressure on, but you've had fantastic first two picks.
I've had a strong draft. Those were my 1 and 2 on my board.
It's
where do I finish?
I didn't like that you had to take the United Kingdom. I like, on the graphic, like United Kingdom. Sorry,
There's
Al,
so many
sucks.
parts to it.
Being able to say England or being able to say Scotland is just so much more fun. But they're not countries; they're nations.
For our purposes,
the '60s is the perfect decade for that. So good pick. I think you're having a very good draft.
Thank you. I appreciate that. With my third pick, I am going to take New Zealand in the 2020s.
Also on my board.
Let's go!
Yeah, that was. I was going to take
prepared to
whatever you think you are. I am.
I was going to take that
number
next.
2 in that continent for me.
Really good gun control stuff. Beautiful country.
I don't know if you want to say the gun control stuff. They did have the mass shooting at the mosques, but the COVID stuff. They didn't have COVID.
They got over it real quick. It's the clear number 2 country in the region, I think, just because it has the most going on.
It leaves the rest of my board open.
No, I think it's hard to beat Jake in this draft right now. Impossible.
Yeah.
That was on my board. I was going to take it next if you didn't take it.
Yeah. That's a great pick.
Mm-hmm. First pick overall. I think BBD might regret not going first pick overall.
I do a little bit, because I would have, hearing Jake go with the exact pick I would have taken first overall. I knew I was giving up the opportunity to go America by not taking first. I'm happy I got my wraparound when I did.
My picks suck. What you guys stole all the ones I wanted.
How about that?
My next two picks I know will be there.
Similar boards.
Yeah, I thought we might all have very different boards.
Yeah.
But so far, you guys have both chosen something that I have. I think you've won the draft, Jake.
Hey, let the rest of the draft play out. Remember, Pennsylvania, people still.
You got 1 left. You got 3. And
it's a strong 3.
If this one gets snaked from me, I'd be more upset than it not helping me win the draft at this point.
Okay.
I am taking Egypt in 2490. I just want to see that damn pyramid get finished.
So
you went in the future.
No, BC.
BC.
2490.
I just want to watch those last 10 years of that pyramid get finished.
I had
and then,
so many questions for a minute. I thought you thought they were still diligently working on a master pyramids plan or something. Like
No.
Something.
No, BC. I want to see the end of the pyramid.
I'm with you.
Like, I don't want to be the first 100 years when they're just building the base and you die. I want to be alive and be like, you know what? I watched them for 8 years, and it's the most difficult part, taking them all the way to the top. And then put it on and be like, yeah, I know how that was built.
I mean, Egypt, man.
I might have to be a slave that makes the pyramid, but at least I get to know.
Egypt gets
you want to see the full pyramid.
Egypt
process,
gets so overlooked.
Like the day when they put that final piece on, it had to be one of the most exciting days ever.
Party.
Like
This
you're
is gonna be good for the
partying.
community.
Like everyone's out there. Like, yeah, let's do it. If it was aliens, that's awesome. If it was humans, probably sad in a lot of ways, but still like what a marvel. So,
dude, the Sphinx, the pyramids, all those stuff goes too far overlooked for how crazy they are. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do have some slavery and killing people.
I'm very happy you went there when you did, because now I'm much less self-conscious about my pick, because I'm going way back as well.
Okay.
Well, not as far back. I'm taking the 10s BC Italy. So I get
Rome.
Yes, Rome.
10s.
I get the Roman Empire. That is.
I think you get Roman Empire because Italy wasn't a country then.
Yeah, it's whatever. But
Roman.
right now it is. So
You're still safe.
Yeah.
That is what the selection is. That is the period. That is the Pax Romana, the era of Roman peace. You get to cap off that decade with the birth of Jesus Christ, which is huge.
So if I had Rome on my board, but it was when Caesar got stabbed. Because like the day that news spread through the city had to be like a rush.
That was you get a lot more going on if you target the Caesar years. I'm targeting the Augustan years, the era of Roman peace, the Pax Romana.
A lot of
I did minor in Latin, so I had that one in the back pocket the second we said we were doing this draft.
You just won't be able to have Pax Romana on there. It'll just say 10s Rome. So like at face value, I don't know if people know all
when
that.
it shows up on a graphic, but
yeah. All right.
I have to write it on here. 10s BC.
Jake, finish it off.
No, I have my wrap around.
Oh, wow.
Around.
All right. So what do you have? You have Asia. You have Australia, which is actually like Oceania, and you have Europe.
Yeah. I have Europe. So now I am coming to North America. You guys went North America first too, so I knew I could wait here. I wasn't worried about the decade being snaked from me. I'm going with. Give me 1480s Mexico, the height of the Aztec Empire.
Okay. Aztecs were cool. The Aztecs had crossed through my mind for this process. The Aztecs had crossed through my mind.
Yeah, I was thinking there. Well, I'll let you finish the draft. I'll tell you the other one.
Okay.
Oh, well, actually, no, different continent.
Okay.
So I will wait to see.
So I have North America, Egypt. I have North America, Europe, and Africa. You guys took my two from Oceania, Australia/Oceania, which is Australia, New Zealand. There's no one else. I'm going to go there. Antarctica. I'm not taking Antarctica. So I need South America. That's my most shallow continent, really. I didn't even put a second country on there. Brazil in the 70s. They won the World Cup.
Yeah.
That was my big. I was looking for years Brazil won the World Cup. You took the 2000s, you took the 90s, you took the 60s, the 70s are still there. Just that's like a decade-long party probably. It's at least 4 years of partying.
My head loves Brazil. I've never been. I very much want to go. I love butt shaking in soccer.
Yeah.
So it just seems to make sense in my head.
How many people do you think had sex in their seats
Ooh.
at the final game when Brazil was playing the World Cup?
In their seats.
Yeah. Over, under, like, if I put it over, under 1, you're going over, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had it as, well, I guess if it's people or couples doing it. I have 2 couples.
So 4 people, 2 sexes, 2 sex sessions. At least 1.
Yeah.
I mean, if you include bathrooms, we're going, what, 5 as the over-under? Jake?
Oh, if we had bathrooms, there's so many people having sex.
Yeah.
People do that at regular games.
I know.
Well, did they have?
We saw someone at the
situation
we saw
back
someone at the World Series.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Where?
Someone was having sex. We were in the concourse, and guy and a gal went into the baby room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
And they
Was it just you and me walking there? Were all 3 of us there?
I think we were in like getting ready for the game. I think it was like pregame.
You think every big...
They were holding hands walking into the family.
Yeah.
You think
it was-
every big sports game has a couple having sex at it? At least one?
I don't think you need even the big games.
Well, major. I just meant like big
major
stadium.
league games.
Not
like
like a college.
if you have a game that has
It's in a
over
stadium.
10,000 people going,
Yeah. You got some
Some
kids
point
there.
that day.
90%.
Hmm.
Is that at a 90% hit rate?
Jake, round out your draft.
Okay. What I didn't write down the years. That was my bad.
I can.
So
I
if
can
you could
tell
do me a
you.
year's catch up.
40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 90s have been taken.
Yeah,
You're a big 20s guy.
without going into BCs,
The 2000s
90s,
and 20
60s, all the 2000s.
There's a spot I think would really be the chef's kiss.
So I have a couple.
Oh no, you took Europe already. Never mind.
I have a couple.
What continent do you need?
So I can go to Africa, I can go to South America, and I can go to Asia. The board is really open.
A lot of countries and a lot of decades have existed.
Let me check one thing, because you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. Because
I don't think there's a way you can really go wrong here. You've had a very strong draft.
I mean, I think, the more we say that, the more build-up there is for that. I am going to... The 80s are available.
The 80s are.
There's a lot of powdery countries I could have taken in South America. I'm going to go to Morocco, and I'm going to represent the African continent. They deserve to be on here. Morocco
I have Egypt.
is... you have Egypt. Excuse me. But Morocco's right near Portugal and Spain. Those are kind of some fun countries going on. It's on the water, like the whole country.
No, it's,
Morocco's cool.
And Morocco's like cool. So yeah, Morocco.
Okay.
Morocco in the 80s, baby.
It's not a bad pick. It's not like
It's
as
not a
flashy,
splash
but
pick.
you've won the draft, so I don't think it kills you. at all.
With those first 3, I don't think there was a way you were gonna ruin your draft with that last pick, and there was no way.
80s
I don't
South
think there's
America.
a way you're coming in last.
I mean,
on anyone's
I think people would have
assessment.
wanted Colombia, something like that.
Yeah, when you're
Uruguay,
getting
there was some
80s.
soccer. Argentina's pretty cool. I got my 1-1 and my 2 on my board. So
Yeah.
it's a strong. It's a strong run.
First pick was huge here. Getting US changes everything. I would have went 80s instead of 90s, because 80s was before all. There's a lot of diseases that came out in the 90s, and 80s was just cocaine, dancing, like
AIDS started in the 80s.
no 90s.
I think it started in the 80s. No.
The 80s is like
would've,
known
like,
as like the
started,
last like
but-
wild decade, like
Yeah.
safety, like latchkey kids were just like going around, running around, and then the
Yeah.
90s things started getting more buttoned up.
I think 90s took the good stuff from the 80s, like some of the style and fun, but it buttoned up in a good, like
90s was my second.
But
for
you-
the US.
music
in the good
and
way.
like
Yeah, 90s was
So
my
if you,
second.
if you had number
so I'm
one,
not
you'd have gone 80s.
US 80s would have been my number one.
okay.
And then
So we're thinking
and then I wanted Switzerland 40s, and then I wanted either the New Zealand pick or the Australia pick, New Zealand over Australia. So I was pretty bummed when your New Zealand 2020s in round 3 killed any chance I had, because I was like so excited to get
It's a
it.
strong pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Not denying it.
If Australia went, I was gonna take. That was the pick I'd have gone there. My sleeper Oceania pick was Fiji, because it's like the premier vacation destination over there. That would have been the number 3.
Yeah, you probably could have went any decade.
You need
too.
a recent year.
I needed to.
Yeah.
I would have done a little bit of research live on here to figure out
The other
There's
guy
like
I
a
was
period I definitely can't go before.
the other guy I was thinking about, but I don't know enough about him. But I think we're doing this on the optimist side. I think being like a part of Genghis Khan's crew.
I thought about Mongolia.
Yeah,
I thought, but Mongolia was scary.
Yeah.
Genghis
There's
Khan was
so
a
much
fucker.
unknown.
like that's
with
what.
Mongolia.
But that's kind of what I was doing with your 50s Cuba. Like if I'm cool with the Genghis Khan crew and we just like run the world right now, there's some boss stuff going on there.
Canada going undrafted by all of us.
I couldn't figure out a decade. I don't know enough about their history, so
I think it would have
had to be
turned
recent.
into be.
And then
Keith brings it up in the chat. 2010s is a good decade there because the music popped off.
Yeah.
Raptors got their championship.
Montreal,
Bieber.
Toronto. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it would have been good.
yeah, I think it would have had to been recent, and I think there's still some more impactful recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the North America, I had the U.S., then I had Cuba, then I had the Bahamas in like the 1750s when the pirates, Treasure Island, Long John Silver and Captain Blackbeard, it was just a pirate nation.
Pirate Island.
But like that's pretty in the weeds. But
It's in there.
If you guys
It's a play.
If you guys both took North America and I got the last crack at it, I was going to go Bahamas.
There's a lot of plays in this draft, which I think made it nice.
You could make your angle a bunch of different ways. I didn't even like rank within continents like what I wanted. I just knew because I figured it's so easy to get a decade and whatever swiped.
So Jake didn't do any ancient play on us. I thought it was. I was like, I should have one ancient one on here.
When you did the ancient play, I thought about doing my ancient play, and that would have been Genghis Khan. But I mean, it's
Safer
probably
pick.
also a shitty time to be alive.
Yes, I think Morocco.
It's
and the 80s
easier
was safer
to
pick,
know
like
what
your
you're talking
neighbor
about.
could just kill you and eat you. And
Yeah.
you'd be like, oops.
Do you have any snubs, BB?
The next one I would have gone for if I went South America, I was gonna go Peru. Probably also in like the 1480s or something in that range for the height of the Incan Empire. Some other ones on my board. I would have tried to get Israel potentially if Asia everything
Okay.
went. I would have potentially gone for like Israel in like the 90s or more recently. They do a lot of technology stuff over there. It's kind of the homer pick.
I've got a controversial one. Was
Yeah.
was Russia on any of your guys' boards?
No.
No.
Okay. Not even like when they... Like, is it cool to be there when they thought they were powerful and stuff? Like, I don't know.
Not to be like a commoner.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be thriving.
Okay.
I was hesitant.
I didn't know. I
If I
kind of tapped out because I was like,
There was a part of me that thought about doing a joke draft and taking like famously bad times.
Sure.
And then Russia probably would have.
Should ancient Greece have been in the mix?
Ancient Greece was on my list.
It's hard to find a decade. Like when I went through
Yeah.
all the Roman
Yeah,
ones, I
that's
did the
true.
same search BBD did because I came upon the peace era of Roman, or maybe he knew that originally, but I came upon that and I was like,
knew that.
I don't think
the
anyone
exact
knows
years.
that at face value.
Yeah.
So then I was going to do like, it would have been cool to watch the gladiators, but also like, no.
Yeah.
And the gladiators didn't do it a lot. It was like once or twice a year. I don't
Yeah.
know. So Caesar was there, and then I thought of the pyramids, and I was like, that's a pretty cool
Those are
swing.
cool.
Seeing those get finished, it had to be a big party.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, ancient Greece was the number 2 on my board, and in Europe, I knew I was going to get one of those two societies.
France? Did France
And I-
have some angles?
Paris in the 20s was high up on my
okay.
board. That's where I saw your board, and I was like, oh, man, if you had Paris in the 20s at the end, I was like, you already did Europe with the UK.
Yeah.
But Paris in the...
Would Roaring Twenties U.S. have been a play?
it was 80s, 90s, 20s for me in
Okay.
the US.
Okay. Wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Every other time you can tie it to a war, really, or something bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something I was trying to prioritize decades.
So is Ireland in its own country?
Mm-hmm. Not
Okay.
Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland is part of the UK.
UK.
Yeah.
Because you like Ireland.
Yeah, yeah. Ireland was on there. I like the Switzerland angle. I think it's funny.
Okay.
It's the
Yeah.
same as your New Zealand 2020s.
Yeah.
It's
We're good.
whole world's at war and we're just on vacation skiing.
Partying.
This is cool.
Clubs were like open at the end of March during the first COVID. Still COVID. Start of COVID. Okay.
We did it. Thank you very much.
We did it.
Dugout Mugs for sponsoring our draft. We'll put the poll out there. I think
was
you'll be.
South Africa on a board? Did they have an argument? I feel like they have
I was
still
trying to
have
find
baths.
when they
gonna
did
look
when they
up-
got through apartheid and they won. Like the
I
movie
think
that's
that
about them.
happened like too recently.
too
that
recent.
Those years were gonna get.
It was like the
snaked.
90s or the 80s. It was like
Okay.
and it was.
You were gonna be.
you
able
were
to
gonna go
pick a
somewhere else for them
country
in
that
my head.
range.
Yeah, I was trying to find Ireland before the potato famine,
Pre-fam.
but then Ireland also would have been like the 90s for me.
I was gonna look up for same reasoning with South America. I was gonna try to look up before apartheid, and then it occurred to me it probably wasn't good before that officially.
No, I think it was existing,
like
and then it
always
stopped.
Yeah, as long as they've existed.
I had a kind of weird one that was kind of a recent time period pyramid spin,
Okay,
and I was going Panama when they opened the canal.
I had that the same as
Okay.
but I
Just even thinking that you connect the world. I mean, that's a puff your chest up.
you ever watch like the time lapses of how the Panama Canal works? Like when the boats go in and
time
then
lapse
they
of the-
drop
Oh.
them and then they raise
Those are
them
cool
and they drop
videos.
them. It's really cool. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama.
It always comes back there.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that's still.
If we can work that
kind of
into
I
every
can't-
episode from now on, that'd be really
Yeah.
wonderful.
It's one of the things I kind of still can't like fully grasp my head around. Like logically, I know what they're talking about. Canals work, but like
Yeah. Well, before we end the draft segment, because we do clip these out and make them their own, do you guys like that formula? It's a little more in the weeds because obviously you've seen the ideas that I've had out there. And I'll let the chat know, like, not just one thing. Like, we could have drafted countries, but that's
Right.
a little too cookie cutter, too boring for me. So it's like, nope, attached to this,
it's got to have an element of weird.
just different, make your head think differently.
That's what it's all about.
You got research wise, you think it's also very hard to prep because everything can
This
get
was
stolen.
the hardest thing to prep that we've.
You can get
done.
half stolen.
I don't want to give away too much on the behind the scenes that we put out every week, but I told Zach I don't have much of a plan. I got a couple things I like, and I'm rolling with it. So
Yeah, you had the things you were targeting.
So
my last Google search before we started this was when did Europe party? And that's not, it wasn't a joke. It wasn't me trying to be anything. That's genuinely what my
My boy
brain.
Jake.
Yeah.